For like the last 2 years, I brought in New Year's literally in my bed, sick. So I refused. This year, I was like, no, I'm getting up. I'm going to do my makeup. I'm going to be with my besties, even if it's virtually. We got to set the tone for this year so that I don't go missing for another 4 months. I really want to watch... Well, I don't want to watch it, but I'm going to watch it because everybody's asking me to. The Kim Kardashian, the Santa baby video. So that's on the agenda for today. And whatever else y'all want me to watch. I haven't watched 1 second of the Santa baby video. I can't. Like, I couldn't watch it by myself. Like, I don't know. I just refused. I felt like I was going to get sucked through my phone or something. Mad dramatic. Oh, I got to get my crystals. They're right here. You know they never far. Definitely have my crystals. I got a little incense burning right there. I already cleansed the space. I had my sound bowl before I got on. So, we should be good. Yeah, I got to keep that thing on me. You feel me? I'm not playing. Not the video being 444 minutes long. Okay. No, why is she looking at me like this already? I'm gonna be annoyed. I have no idea where this is taking us. Okay, does everybody have their oregano, their crystals, whatever you need? Like, who are you to close off Earth? For legal reasons, if any kids are watching, the oregano. Oh, everybody say hi to YouTube in the chat right now. Say, hey, YouTube. Oh, what am I doing? I'm scared. Wait, hold on. It's Kim singing? Why does it look like this? This is what it's supposed to look like, or is my YouTube glitching? I don't like this. Already, I don't like this. Why is she singing? Remember her party song she made? All right, I'm sorry. I'm not doing Why is it glitching? Is that Riley? What are we doing? What are we doing? There's so much happening. This has nothing to do with the song. She looks like she's on drugs. No, she's on drugs. Is that Jesus? I mean... Why is she crawling around like Coraline going to the other mother's house? What are we doing? She's pissing me off. Like, there's mad chaos happening and she's just crawling. Is she supposed to be a baby? That is not Snow. That's whatever she's on. I'm gonna let y'all know that right now. Like, what does this have to do with Christ? Or what, you know, Christians think Christmas is? Because Christmas don't have nothing to do with Jesus. This is why North was drawing those weird ass pictures with like the demons and all that stuff, because this is the type of stuff they got going on in their house, like on a random freaking Thursday.
800, 900, not as much as last week. We have been to McDonald's like President Pizza. The drive through the dance.
Are those strippers over there? Why is she out on pleasure heels? I'm so confused. Like, I'm so... What is that? There's mad extra noises in the background, too. Like, I feel like I wouldn't even hear them if I didn't have headphones on. $350 question. What does this have to do with the birth of Jesus? No. What is happening? Why is he patting down the... Yo, what? Nope. No. Like... This is super overstimulating. Like, there's so much happening. I feel like I gotta watch it like 5 times to see everything that's going on in the background. And the glitching is making me feel like it's designed to like really mess with our subconscious. Is this a Skims ad? I'm really confused. Like, what was the purpose? This is not art. What? Each room has so much happening. Go to hell. What? What? Macaulay Culkin? He went from all ask Steven Spielberg what happened to Heather O'Rourke to now being a, like, please. That doesn't even look like him though. Like, that's the crazy part. Like, do you see that? That could be one of those wax dummies and like somebody's moving the arms for all we know. Like, he literally does not look real. Like, that's what? That just pissed me off. And I feel like they did something to like my head or something. Like, I don't know. I don't like that. He's too involved in Hollywood. Yeah, he's deep in there. Like, he was born into it. So there's no, you know. I want to watch it again. I'm not watching it again. But I just want to watch it again to see what was going on in the background. No, the Kardashians aren't just involved with the diddler. They are part of, like, they family at this point. Like, there was so many episodes I had to, like, really think back to where Chris just randomly was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to see Diddy. We're going to Puffy's party. Oh, we're going to do this with Puff tonight. Like, what? Why are y'all hanging out with this man so much? But then you see Chris is with Corey Gamble, and he was the first one on scene when Kim Porter died. Before the coroner got there, Corey was there. And Kanye said in his documentary, which they cut out, that Corey was CIA.
Yes, Corey is CIA. Like, he didn't even have to say it. I know it. He's fucking CIA. What are you talking about? Like, what the fuck? This is my godmother. This is my this. He's Illuminati.
And everybody just swept that under the rug and was like, oh, whatever. No, Corey is CIA. Corey is a Fed. And he's involved with all that stuff going on. That's something like, all this stuff is beyond us. This is not just the criminal justice system anymore. Like, these are people in there controlling this. Like, this is beyond me, bro. Chris definitely gave up her kid. She had them dressed in beta outfits. Kylie and Kendall was on stripper poles and stuff at like 14 on the show. Like, she did not care. She set up the whole thing to get Kim's sex tape released. Like, that's so sad. Your own mom, like, oh yeah, let's benefit off of this. Like, what is the problem? And Diddy bought Kim's casket a month in advance. If that doesn't say enough, her casket was ordered a month in advance to her death. The secret god that runs Hollywood.
Have you ever looked at Hollywood and thought to yourself, it seems like one big club that we are not in? What if I told you that just about every celebrity in Hollywood was a part of an industry secret cult? A cult that's hidden in plain sight, and most people don't even realize it. Just ask yourself why we always see so many celebrities using the same
Did I make
imagery
this
and
video?
symbols that don't seem to
This is feeling real, storm-coded. Okay.
make sense to outsiders. It's because they are. The club they are all a part of is the code of Saturn. If you pay attention to how
And Saturn, Santa, Satan, gang, all one entity, all the same energy. Saturn, Santa, and Satan. They are one.
Hollywood long enough, you would notice that celebrities are always praising Saturn. Either they take pictures showing Saturn's symbolism or place Saturn in their music videos and movies. Saturn is everywhere in Hollywood. But why? Why do all these celebrities feel the need to constantly use Saturn imagery? Well,
all these pictures
the
are on my
reason
page.
for this is far more sinister than you can ever imagine, and it goes back to ancient times. Since before ancient Rome, Saturn has been worshipped by many civilizations as a god. The first people to worship Saturn were the ancient Mesopotamians, specifically the Babylonians. They saw the planet as the god Kajamanu, or the star of Ninrudo. Eventually, this was adopted by ancient Greece. Ancient Greece saw Saturn as the god Kronos. Kronos was considered the god of time and agriculture who ruled over a golden age. The Romans worshipped this same god and named it Saturn, and saw Saturn as the god of time, death, generation, wealth, agriculture, and liberation. Saturn's reign,
which just sounds like God, right? And that's why when they always be up there and be like, oh no, thank God and my God, and what God? Which God are we talking about? The creator of all, or the creator of this illusion that we're in right now? Because Kronos is in charge of time, and we know that time is an illusion. Time is fake. Everything that they've put, like, it's literally a construct that they've put in front of us. Like, yes, time, you know, it exists in a way, but it's really not linear the way we look at it. Like, oh, this day, that day, that day. There's like, we could be experiencing like 4 different days right now, like in this very moment, and not even know it, because time is like little air pockets. These
Saturn was often depicted as an old bearded man holding a scythe and an hourglass. He was also depicted devouring souls, as he was known as a devourer of time. In ancient Rome, Saturn was one of the most powerful gods in their belief system. Saturn was so important to the Romans that they celebrated him yearly during a 7-day festival called Saturnalia. Saturnalia was celebrated in December, starting December 17th, lasting until December 25th. During the festival, the Roman people would participate in several activities and rituals dedicated to the honor of the god Saturn. The festival was celebrated by feasting, gift-giving, and a carnival atmosphere. This celebration led to the birthday of another prominent Roman god, Sol Invictus, whose birthday was on December 25th.
Sol Invictus, Sol, son of God, Jesus. Like, do you get it? Jesus was not born for Christmas. Like, it all makes sense. This is why I keep telling people, like, if you just listen to your version of the truth, that's as far as you're gonna ever get. Like, it's so many different versions of the truth, and so many different religions and so many different regions across the world have different stories of the same exact entities and energy, but they're under different names and different gods. But if you think, oh, there's only this one, of course there's the creator, there's God, there's source, right? But then there are also demigods and other gods that play roles. Like, to think that there's only one powerful source in the entire, like, universe and all of these times that we live in is crazy.
During this week-long period, the Romans would make offerings to Saturn, not just food offerings, but human offerings as well, as they were known for dedicating dead gladiators to Saturn as an offering. Saturnalia eventually became Christmas when the Roman Catholic Church chose December 25th to be Jesus' birthday. In order to keep their pagan Saturnalia alive, they merged it with Christian-themed beliefs. The first people to ever celebrate Christmas were the Roman Catholic Church in 336 AD. Due to Saturn being the god of time and agriculture, he was worshipped during the winter solstice because he was associated with death and rebirth. The pagans believed the winter solstice was the time where everything began to die before its rebirth. Since the end of the year marked the beginning of the winter, this period was ruled over by Saturn. During winter times, crops died and the nights were longer. This coincided with the death of the year and the rebirth of a new year. All of this Saturn mythology resulted in occultists worshipping Saturn.
When the real new year isn't until the flowers start blooming. I don't care what side of the world you're on, then do it according to you. But what I'm saying is we cannot go into a new year in the middle of the winter when everything is dead and everybody's cold and sick, and that's not that's not how it works. Once those flowers start blooming, things are changing. You feel the cleansing of the last year, and now we're going into a new. It doesn't even make sense.
Saturn for this very reason. The cult of Saturn was started in North Africa. This cult was known to practice ritual sacrifices to the god, often being a child offering given to Saturn for a good harvest. This cult of
Who else we
Saturn
know
lives on in the
sacrificing kids?
shadows to this very day. The Freemasons have also been linked to Saturn, as they admire the god for the same reasons as the pagans. The Masons often use Saturn in their imagery. In fact, many occult-based cults and religions still worship Saturn to this very day. If you haven't realized it yet, Hollywood is full of occultists who communicate through symbolism. These occultists worship the same pagan gods as the Romans and other ancient civilizations. They believe they have to keep this pagan tradition alive in order to keep these ancient gods satisfied, as they believe they not only grant them blessings and wealth, but also keep them from destroying the world. In Hollywood, Saturn worship could be seen all over the industry, with many of the biggest celebrities showing their worship to Saturn. Hollywood openly worships Saturn, and most people don't even know it. Did you know that Hollywood has a yearly Saturn Award? Yearly, the Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Horror hosts a Saturn Award, where the winner receives a trophy shaped as Saturn. This is open Saturn.
Y'all gonna tell me that's Keanu Reeves? Y'all gonna tell me that that is the Keanu Reeves? That is... Are we in Madame Tussauds? Like, that's a wax sculpture? You are not telling me. Yeah, I wonder why that's not televised. Yeah, just like we can't see the inside of the Met Gala. You get to see them all on the red carpet while they're doing their little rituals, but we can't see what's happening.
Saturn worship. Hollywood is still praising this ancient pagan god. Many of the
Not
biggest
Professor
celebrities have been awarded this Saturn Award, and it's all in honor.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I know I keep pausing it. I'm so sorry. But I have never seen these pictures in my life. Like, I have like, why are we not seeing the Saturn Awards? Like, I didn't even know this was like, I've heard about it, but I didn't know it was a thing like this. That's crazy. Like, that's weird. But we gotta watch the VMAs no.
Honor of the god. These celebrities have all been worshiping Saturn right in front of you the entire time. Let's take a look at many of these celebrities showing their alliance to the cult of Saturn. Back in 2017, Katy Perry did a performance where she was floating on a giant Saturn planet, clearly showing her alliance to the pagan god. She also went and got a Saturn tattoo on her wrist, marking herself with the symbol of the god. Lady Gaga wore a Saturn headpiece to the Ellen DeGeneres show. Saturn is often depicted having rings around the planet, with it having 7 main inner rings. This is what Gaga is depicting with this headpiece. It's the same that she's depicting with the outfit she wore for this SNL skit back in 2009. Kim Kardashian also wore a Saturn outfit, displaying Saturn's rings. Beyonce did the same, wearing a Saturn ring outfit while also wearing Saturn-themed rings. The same Saturn earrings that Adele was wearing during this performance. Miley Cyrus has Saturn tattooed on her arm, and Kesha has it on her hand. These earrings that Beyonce and Adele were wearing were both created by the designer and open occultist Vivienne Westwood. Vivienne Westwood is heavy into Saturn worship. Vivienne's brand logo is literally Saturn. In the 90s, she released her witch collection full of occult imagery. A lot of her designs are directly...
Did you hear that? She's literally Saturn. Like, don't let that go over your head. Like, these people, look at her. The horns on her head, the way she is. We don't know how many times these people reincarnate, how they swap the energy. They showed us bits and pieces in Get Out, like how simple it could be just putting somebody under hypnosis and doing that. What's stopping people from thinking like, oh, this actually is Saturn here chilling amongst us? Like, why is that so far-fetched? Like, I really don't think it is.
Tied to pagan Saturn worship. Ariana Grande is big into Saturn worship as well. She has dropped 2 songs directly tied to her worship of Saturn. Her massive hit song 7 Rings is a direct reference to the 7 main rings of Saturn we spoke about earlier. She also released a song called Saturn's Return Interlude, which was about the Saturn's Return ritual we spoke about in my Ice Spice video. Now, for those that didn't catch that video, occultists believe that Saturn is connected to their rebirth. They believe in something called Saturn's Return. They call it a major astrological event that occurs when Saturn returns to the same position in the sky that it was as the day that they were born.
See, but this is the thing. I like these. I'm not knocking the channel, or his beliefs or whatever. But like, you see, it's like they believe this and this and that. Like, this is a study. Like, astrology is not just a belief. Like, this stuff makes sense. And Saturn returns are real. Just like your birthday is real. That's your solar return. The day that the sun is back in your zodiac sign. That's your solar return. Just like when your birthday is back in Saturn, or what, that's your Saturn return. between, what is it, 27 to 30 is like usually around your Saturn return. The Saturn kicked my ass, I'll tell you that. So, and you don't have to worship Saturn to acknowledge that it is a real energy. Like, this really happens. And that's why Saturn, Santa, Satan, and Capricorns are ruled by Saturn, which is also the devil, Satan. Like, it all makes sense. And you've heard all of these things, probably not all gathered together, but like split up at some point, because everybody has the same beliefs, but they just rather argue about it instead of just coming together and saying, you know what, actually we're all right in some way. Let's like tape these pieces together instead of fighting and ripping up the book. Like, what are we doing?
This tends to happen around the age of 27 to the age of 30. In the occult world, this is seen as a moment of reflection, death, and rebirth, when a person reaches a new stage in their existence and their old self dies. This is why Ariana is singing about Saturn's return, just like SZA. SZA has a song on her last project called Saturn. Similarly to Ariana Grande's song, this song is all about Saturn's return. On SZA's album, she even displayed the Saturn imagery on the album cover. Another artist part of the Saturn code is Taylor Swift. Back in 2020, she released a song called Seven, which again refers to the 7 inner rings of Saturn. The song is about the coming of age moment connected to the Saturn return ritual. In the song, Taylor sings about how she loves you to the moon and Saturn, clearly indicating that the 7 is a reference to Saturn's rings. Taylor Swift also released a music video alongside Ice Spice, fully displaying the Saturn imagery. In the video, she shows herself holding the moon while Ice Spice is seen holding Saturn. The video also depicted the hourglass, which is associated with Saturn because Saturn was considered the god of time, and he was often depicted holding an hourglass. Taylor also depicted reapers in the music video holding Saturn's scythe. Stevie Wonder also has a song dedicated to Saturn as well, just like Kelsea Ballerini, who also dedicated an entire album to Saturn and her Saturn return ritual. On her album Patterns, the first song is all about her Saturn's return ritual. Another artist who dedicated her album to Saturn is Casey McGraves. She dropped an album and song called My Saturn.
I remember watching Ghost Whisperer in the episode where the plane crashes or the FBI or the CIA comes in and they say so in the show that the government has the top astrologist working for them. Yes, the government, the richest person you know, everybody has an astrologist on the line, ready. Like, I'm telling you, just simple things, just knowing your birth chart can like change your life. It can align you in so many ways. And it's not witchcraft to use what you were born with and align with, like, it's just, I don't know. I don't know. It's okay to like give all your money to the church, to a pastor, for him to tell you things, but if you were to, you know, give money to a psychic or an astrologist, like, that's when it crosses the line. So I don't know. Like, I don't like to get into it too much because it gets touchy, and I respect everybody's religion. Like, you know, like I said in one of my unpopular opinion videos, I even respect the, you know, the Satanists, not that I respect what they do, but like the ones who aren't, you know, sacrificing kids, that just follow, you know, because if you read the Satanic Bible, a lot of it isn't this Saturn worship. It's a lot of like, just be nicer and be a better person, don't hurt animals, don't, like, it's actually a lot sweeter than the Bible. The Bible got some stuff going on, like the Bible's messy. And I'm not saying that to like do not go and leave Christianity and go become a Satanist. That's not what I'm saying. But I've met people who are the nicest people that I've ever met ever, and they were a Satanist or believed that that's what they were aligning with at that moment. And I've met some of the nastiest spirited people that were Christians. So it's like, it's not what you're subscribing to, is really who you are, what you're putting out there. Instead of trying to keep sinning so that you could be saved by Jesus, why don't you just be like Jesus? Just follow how Jesus was moving. And Jesus wasn't hateful. So I just back to Saturn.
Has returned. Same thing with the singer Gwen Stefani, who dropped an album called Return of Saturn with her band No Doubt, which again was directly connected to the Saturn return ritual. Doja Cat also displayed the Saturn imagery as she depicted herself holding Saturn at the 2022 Billboard Music Awards. Interestingly enough, artist FKA Twigs claimed that the deaths associated with the 27 Club were directly connected to Saturn's return. If you don't know what the 27 Club is, it's a strange phenomenon regarding several celebrities that passed away at the age of 27. According to FKA Twigs, it's associated with the Saturn return ritual, as she believes they were all in their Saturn return year. Remember, Saturn's return usually takes place between a person's 27th and 30th birthday, so it does make sense. All of this Saturn worship is not just in the music industry either. You can also see the same with Hollywood and their actors. The actress Emma Watson also spoke about her Saturn return ritual on Instagram, thanking it for changing her life.
This is 33, 33. Hold on. You see? And this is the energy, because now you threw in the 33 when you could have talked about this on your 30th birthday within that window of the Saturn return, but you waited till 33 so that this post could start with 33 because that's their number. Like, it's so in your face. That's what I'm saying. The Saturn return itself is not a negative energy, but depending on how people use it and who's using it, like. This is 33. Holy moly. Before 29, I hadn't even heard of Saturn return as a concept. Let's just say that now I'm well acquainted. I stepped away from my life, learned to surf badly. I rode some horses. That went better. I did a lot of therapy. My brother and I figured out how to make a gin using recycled wine grapes. I adopted Sophia in Mexico. I started a women's environmental investment fund. I played pickleball with Sugar Ray Leonard. That's okay. I even played golf and then tried to make all of my girlfriends learn too. I cut my thumbnail off on both hands trying to cook for myself, and then I was only able to do things one-handed for months. Whenever they randomly mention to us that they cut their fingers and stuff, whatever, it just always gives me spirit cooking. Because why did we have to know that? Like, I just feel like that was really random to throw in there. Like, I cut my finger, like. And if you don't know, like, Marina Abramovich, like, she has a spirit cooking, and, like, one of the things in, like, their rituals says, like, to cut into your finger and let it bleed and all. Like, I think it might have been, like, your middle finger or something like that. And then Kim was walking around with a Band-Aid, too, on that finger. I know she said thumbs, but it just doesn't feel right. Like, this is just a weird, long-winded post. I wasn't ready to come out of my COVID cocoon. Today I feel butterflies. The butterflies, though. All of this is just giving MK Ultra rant. I'm so sorry. And, like, yes, you can be a celebrity and just come and share things with your audience, whatever. But this COVID cocoon, the butterflies, the 33, this is an MK Ultra rant. And if this was Nicki, they would be calling this a Coke rant. Like, this, what? And thank you to the witches in my coven who were so pivotal in helping me arrive where I am and who I am now. You are my Avengers, and you inspire me and kick ass. To the witches in my coven. 33. Saturn return. Butterfly symbolism. Cocoons. Witches and covens. I'm glad I did not skip past this, because this was definitely an MK Ultra rant. Okay, Hermione, thank you.
Actress Megan Fox spoke about her Saturn's return ritual, stating, "There's something in astrology called your Saturn's return. Saturn is the planet of karma and responsibility, and life lessons take 30 years to orbit your chart. So usually everyone in their 30th year have some self-realization to ensure they're going in the right direction. Or people who are extremely lost have some sort of a breaking point, some sort of low that they hit around that year."
And that right there, like, you either realize what you want to do with the rest of your life, or you reach that breaking point. And that's why the 27 Club, that energy is surrounded by Saturn energy, because people really do. A lot of people will take their own lives. I think more happens in the industry where it's like ritual things, and they give, like, Lil Uzi said that he would give his life to Marilyn Manson when he turns 27, that he's going to give him his soul. And then Uzi completely changed after he turned 27. And then they even went as far as to do this whole thing where, oh no, Uzi found out his birthday was wrong, and then da-da-da-da, and then he's with JT, and he's talking about make a city girl believe in Satan, and now he's going by Leslie, and he's they, them, I'm sorry. It's a lot going on. So a lot of people do, like, in the real world too, they turn 27 and they feel like, what am I doing? And that's why the 27 Club does exist. But in the industry, Amy Winehouse, Jimi Hendrix, those were sacrifices.
The Samsung Internet logo is a slanted Saturn. Burger King is another company that uses Saturn in their logo, as the logo shows the rings around the Burger King name, which represents the rings around the planet. Remember, the rings are an important symbol indicating Saturn. The planet Saturn is identified by its rings around the planet. DirecTV also uses Saturn's ring in their logo. It's the same thing with the car-making giants Nissan, which also incorporates Saturn's ring in the logo. As we can see, Nissan is surrounded by a ring, Saturn's ring. Capital One also has the same ring symbol in their logo, using half of Saturn's ring. The same thing with Citibank that also features Saturn's ring in their logo. Many of these popular logos use Saturn symbolism like the AAA logo, which clearly is again depicting Saturn's rings, and many others. Sega Saturn, the Saturn Car Company, it's literally everywhere. Even Christmas and Santa Claus are directly tied to Saturn. Like I already mentioned earlier, Saturn was celebrated by the Romans during the Saturnalia festival that coincided with modern Christmas. The Romans were known to celebrate Saturnalia like an X-rated version of Christmas. While they decorated their homes with evergreens and wreaths and gave gifts, they also ran wild through the streets and engaged in mass group hookups. Christmas comes directly from Saturnalia and other pagan religions and have nothing to do with Jesus Christ's birthday. Santa Claus is also based on Saturn. See, Saturn is depicted as an old man with a long beard who flies on a sled being pulled by reindeers. Saturn was depicted awfully similar. As you can see, they look exactly alike. It's because they are the same. While it is reported that Santa is just a made-up character inspired by the Catholic saint, St. Nicholas looks nothing like Santa is depicted. Santa is just Saturn, and that's pretty easy to tell. Now let's break down the real reason these celebrities all worship Saturn and why they do it. See, the god Saturn or Kronos is actually associated with the Canaanite god Baal or Moloch. Saturn is just a parallel to the god Baal and Moloch, two pagan gods that were forbidden from being worshipped in the Bible. Saturn is associated with Baal and Moloch primarily because of the Roman interpretation of their similar characteristics, particularly the practice of child sacrifice offerings, which was attributed to both Baal and the Roman Saturn god, leading to their identification in Roman mythology. The Romans equated their own god Saturn with the Greek god Kronos, who was also known for his violent and sometimes cannibalistic behavior towards his children. Kronos was known for eating his own children to prevent them from overthrowing him. Since the Romans knew about this, they would often make child offerings.
There are people that would eat their own children. And it's so far-fetched for anybody to believe that they would like eat other people's children or take their blood or take the adrenochrome or do whatever they wanted. Like, hello.
To Saturn. Baal is considered the king of demons under Lucifer in demonology. Baal was believed to grant financial blessings to those that followed him and made sacrifices to him. This is why the ancient Romans and Greeks were known for performing child offerings to Kronos or Saturn. This is what these celebrities are worshipping, the demons that serve Lucifer and are willing to bless them with endless riches for sacrifices. There is no way you can see all this evidence and not open your eyes to what's really going on. These celebrities are openly participating in pagan god worship, a pagan god that has been historically linked to child offerings. They are letting us know time and time again they are committed to the worship of an evil forbidden god. Millions of fans see all these people worshiping Saturn and think nothing of it. They think these celebrities are just using Saturn imagery because it fits their theme. But these celebrities are telling us they are worshippers of Saturn. This is why I warn against following.
And that whole Free Kesha campaign was just as fake as Free Britney. They are not free. Kesha is she's a nepo baby too. I didn't even know. Her mom is like some like rock star. Listen. They were born into it. They were never free. They're not gonna be free. That's creepy. I wonder if there's any connection to Germany's Krampus. Yes, Krampus, and there's even a movie called Krampus. If you watch that, you'll see that is all the same energy too. The Krampus, Kronos, Santa, Satan, it's all this, yeah.
They are leading people to a burning end for riches and fame. They have chosen to serve Saturn, as they would do anything for its demonic blessings.
Let's give it a thumbs up. Thank you. While we're on the topic of Saturn, though, let's see. My good sis Christina right here, her Instagram is The Greek Oracle. She has highlights on everything, just like me. We pretty much the same energy. So, she did a whole highlight here about Christmas, me getting ready to explain what Christmas is really about and ruin it for everybody.
Son, you know, once you start, there's no going back.
In ancient Rome, 25th of December was a day for the celebration of the sun. Romans celebrated the pagan festival of Sol Invictus, translated from Latin as the rebirth of the unconquered sun. Saturnalia is an ancient Roman holiday in honor of the god Saturn, held on the 17th of December on the Julian calendar. You see that? Like, we can just have different calendars throughout history. Time does not matter. They can tell you that it's New Year's right now or it's the 31st. How do you know?
Why is Christmas Day on December the 25th?
It's a pagan festival that's been appropriated by Christianity.
There is a great deal of truth in that. But also, there was the Roman god. There was Mithras. There are amazing things claimed about Mithras, and I'll read you some of them. He was a savior, Mithras, sent to earth to live as a mortal, through whom it was possible for sinners to be reborn into immortal life. He died for our sins, but came back to life the following Sunday. He was born of a virgin on December the 25th in a manger or perhaps a cave, attended by shepherds, and became known as the light of the world. He had 12 disciples with whom he shared a last meal before dying. His devotees symbolically consumed the flesh and blood of him. Because Mithras was a sun god, he was worshipped on Sundays.
Is he a tribute band?
He's often depicted with a halo around his head. And Mithraists gave each other gifts on December the 25th.
And you're kind of writing off the chance that this was just a massive coincidence.
What else has a halo? Saturn. Hello.
Satan is Saturn. Satan fell from heaven to earth, which is you, your mind, incarnating into physical. Satan means God in flesh. Hell comes from hail, which means physical. Your heel is hell, because your heel touches the physical earth. Your head is heaven, because this is where consciousness is, in the temple. Space is fake. The planets are spheres of consciousness and energy, which manifest the physical universe. Saturn is where time begins, and this is why they worship this world, the world of time. This is why in the Bible, Satan, who is the god of this world, because the god of this world is time. They worship Satan, which is Saturn, which is God in flesh, you bound by the body. Your soul died on the cross as it gave its life to the physical form. You are now Jack in the Box, which is the physical plane, the cube, or in Sega Saturn, the GameCube. Your body can only move 6 ways, and it's stuck within the limitation of time. Your mind can go forward and backwards in time, because it exists outside of this plane. The Bible says, Satan, who is the god of this world, has blinded the minds of those who don't believe. The god of this physical world is time. We live in a soul system, not a solar system. We started in the stars, you see the word? We hit Saturn first and then incarnated through the 7 planets, which are the 7 days of creation, the 7 chakras, and then entered the heart, which rearranged means earth. Satan blinds the mind. We forget who we are, and this is shown within the symbol. All of the planet symbols are made out of the sun, moon, and earth. Saturn's symbol is the earth cross and the moon crescent. The sun is the soul, the moon is the mind, the earth is the physical body.
Man-made stories that we are given in order to be divided, while people in control keep the most important info hidden so that they can remain in control. Exactly. They all lead to the same thing in the end, division. Same stories, different names. Everyone celebrates and does things on specific dates without even realizing what they are actually celebrating or what the origin of this celebration is. But like I was saying, it's all the same the same energy. Like, why would the Pope have a symbol of Saturn? Like, what does any of this have to do with the birth of Jesus? The Pope is a demon. This is scary. All right, don't like that. Here's the real tea. Did you know that the jolly old fat man with the white beard that we see today as the widely known symbol for Santa was because of a Coca-Cola ad? Coca-Cola did not create the legend of Santa Claus, but Coca-Cola advertising did play a big role in shaping the jolly character that we know today. Because there used to be a scary Claus. Santa was never this jolly old white man with this beard. It was a demon, a horned entity this whole time. And then here comes this Coca-Cola ad. 1931, Coca-Cola commissioned an illustrator to paint Santa Claus for Christmas advertisements. Those paintings established Santa as a warm, happy character with human features, including rosy cheeks, white beard, and twinkling eyes. A happy character with human features. Because before that day in history, Santa was not human. Exactly. Are we talking about Christmas or Halloween or Valentine's Day? Because happy fake New Year. It's 12 o'clock. I don't really care, but they're already starting with the sirens. Yeah, are we talking about Christmas, Halloween, or Valentine's Day right now? I really don't know, because they're all the same. This is crazy. And I posted this on my page when it first came out.
Scully!
We love you, Satan. Got the little kids just subliminally. It's just like, it's not even funny, but it's like how many years has it been of just like saying like, look at what they're doing to your kids, and people are just like, oh no, it's funny, it's just TV. Like, that's programming. There's no way y'all keep making this mistake. Alice says, I love you, Santa. Just like that new movie that just came out, Dear Santa, but the little boy ended up sending a note to Satan instead because he couldn't spell.
Every Christmas, something magical happens.
I think this is it.
Dear Santa.
When a kid sends a letter to Santa, but Liam
To Santa.
is a crappy speller.
This looks like fun.
Oh, that's putrid.
Thank you.
What do you want?
You summoned me.
Not what I expected.
What'd you expect?
In the movies, the reindeer usually have the antlers, not you.
Kid, are you high?
I'm ready for this.
In the movies.
You look...
Because that's what you were programmed to believe. Yeah, did y'all see that? At Nickelodeon on Google or whatever, like, translates to I don't care about God or something like that. Like, how specific are these things? Like, even from the SpongeBob and Epstein thing, and they made multiple news articles singling me out and saying how like I'm crazy and that it's just a conspiracy for all of these things to keep coming out. She's just a crazy girl on Twitter. Like, no, there's too many coincidences. What? Come on. Just throwing it in our faces what Christmas really is, and people just don't want to believe it. You can't force them, so. And, like, I understand, like, you can still, like, have fun with your family and, like, you know, do all the things. You don't have to, like, completely be, you know, Scrooge, but at least be aware. Like, I'd rather just know, at least, like, what did you want to know what you're celebrating? I don't want to live just, like, being oblivious. That doesn't sound fun to me.